on Facebook, and now for those of you on Spreaker and iHeartRadio, as well as those of you over at the leadershipTKOstation.com's website. I do welcome you guys here to the Leadership TKO Live Night Show. Welcome to the show, guys. And so I'm looking down just to make sure how we're doing when it comes to the video, when it comes to the audio right there on social media. And so listen, I'm excited. Hopefully you all are ready, and it sounds like the audio is doing good. And so thank you so much for all of you out here tuning into this show right here that's live on social media. And so again, welcome. This show goes live every single night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so I am your leadership specialist, your wealth mentor, your author of several books. Some of you probably know about the book, and I'll go ahead and share it because people won't know what you have unless you go ahead and let them know and you show it, right? And so again, this is one of the latest books that I've published, Leadership TKO, 12 Truths to Implement to Become a Winning Leader. And so listen, if you desire to win, we all know that it begins here, right? And so I talk about some essential truths that I've gleaned from several important people in my life, people who have passed on, people who are still here, like the late Dr. John, like the late Miles Monroe, like John Maxwell, like Robert Kiyosaki, individuals in my life, even those in the spiritual sector, definitely just looking at my experience, just being under their tutelage and how they were able to win. And so I utilized some concepts, related it to one of the fields of sport out there that many people enjoy, that's boxing. And that's how I came up with the brand Leadership TKO. And so you want to grab yourself a copy of this if you do not have it, a part of your library. And so you can learn more about Leadership TKO by visiting www.leadershiptko.com. That's where you can find out more about the brand and grabbing yourself a copy of the book. And so listen, excited about the show. This is something we do every night. And before we dive into it, I do want to let you know that the mission, the purpose of Leadership TKO and this show is to empower leaders like yourself with the ability to win from the inside out, growing your influence, your impact, and your income. So if that's something you want to accomplish for yourself, I definitely encourage you to plug in, set an alarm so you don't miss a beat. You don't miss any value that we wish to sow into your lives. And so welcome. Like or love this stream, comment below as we move along, and share this thing out with those that you know, everyone that you know, okay? Do your watch parties if you like. We want to help others to win, not just ourselves, but other people who are connected to us. And so welcome aboard. Now, with the show, something unique that we do is we treat it like a meal, like you're coming to the table, right? And so while you're coming to the table, we got to make sure we feed you right. And so one of the things that we do is we give you an appetizer. All right. And the appetizer normally is in the form of leadership content because, again, I'm in alliance with John Maxwell, my mentor, my leadership mentor, where he says that everything rises and falls upon leadership and that leadership truly is influence. And that really is important for us to glean over and kind of roll over in our minds because that has a lot to do with what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to be delving into some nuggets right here. All right, from this book tonight. We've been doing that, of course, for the last couple of days, but I really want to emphasize a couple of points because he talks about and he reiterates how leadership is influence. It really is. That's really what it is. Leadership, if you're trying to figure out how do I be a leader? Well, grow your influence. And that happens to be one of the major elements that we emphasize here, a part of this show and a part of this brand. And so listen, what we're going to talk about tonight is really how do you extend your leadership? I mean, you can actually build your influence. And I don't know if you remember the episodes where we talked about the 5 levels of leadership. You all remember the 5 levels of leadership? If you don't, I'm going to show you a little bit of a quick image and then I'll read them to you really quick. Look at that quick image right there. Okay. Yeah, let me see if I bring it closer. Move it up. There it is, right there. Boom. 5 levels of leadership. You see that? Okay. Now, what it simply says, so that you'll understand, is that there are 5 levels. He said, level 1 is position, right? Level 2, permission. Level 3, production. Level 4, people development. And level 5, personhood. Okay. And so he talked about that, and we've gone over those 5 levels of leadership. And I encourage you to Google it. Go ahead and Google, look it up so that you'll understand, and then you can kind of remember some of the things that we've gone over. But specifically tonight, I really want to go over how can we actually extend our influence? How can we extend our influence? Because I like what he says in chapter 9 of the book. He talks about how, the act of empowering others changes lives. And people who are under the influence of an empowering person are like paper in the hands of a talented artist. No matter what they're made of, they can become treasures. I mean, he just lays out some nuggets in this chapter right here. He says the ability to empower others is one of the keys to personal and professional success. And then I like what he says here. When you become an empowerer, you work with and through people. So you work with people and you work through people, but you do much more than that. You enable others to reach the highest level in their personal and professional development. So simply defined, empowering is giving your influence to others. You hear what I'm saying? He says that empowering is giving your influence to others for the purpose of personal and organizational growth. It's sharing yourself, your influence, your position, your power, your opportunities. You're sharing yourself with others for the purpose of investing in their lives so that they can function at their very best. This is what he's saying. It's seeing people's potential, sharing your resources with them, and in showing them that you believe in them completely. This is what empowering others does. Now, you may already be empowering some people in your life without knowing it. When you entrust, for example, your spouse with an important decision, for those of you who are married out there, and then you cheerfully back him up, that's empowering. For example, when you decide that your child is ready to cross the street by herself or himself, and you give her or him your permission to do so, you have empowered that child. See, the act of empowering others changes lives, and it's a win-win situation for you and the people you empower. Giving others the authority isn't like giving away an object such as a car. Right? That's not what he's saying. But empowering others by giving them your authority has the same effect as sharing information. You haven't lost anything. You have increased the ability of others without decreasing yours. So while some people have that mentality, oh, if I do this or give this out, I'm going to be losing. No, you're gaining, right? You're winning. You're helping someone else win, and you're not losing a thing by empowering others. Now, you might be thinking, well, what are the qualifications of empowering other people? And he talks about it right here in this chapter. He says, number 1, position. That's a qualification. You cannot empower people whom you don't lead. You can't empower people whom you don't lead. That's what he's saying here. And again, it's all about who's following you. If nobody's following you, then guess what? You're just going for a walk. And you're not a leader if no one is following you. He also says this, relationship is important. That's a qualification of being an empowerer. He says, look, it has been said that relationships are forged, not formed. They require time and common experience. If you have made the effort to connect with people, then by the time you're ready to empower them, your relationship should be solid enough for you to be able to lead them. He says another trait when it comes to a quality of being an empowerer is respect. He talks about respect. He says relationships cause people to want to be with you, but respect causes them to want to be empowered by you. Let me repeat that one more time so that everybody in the back can hear. He says one of the qualifications of being an empowerer is respect. He says relationships cause people to want to be with you, but respect, okay, causes them to want to be empowered by you. Okay, empowered. Mutual respect is essential to the empowerment process. And so when you believe in people, care about them, and trust them, they know it. And that respect inspires them to want to follow where you lead. Now, the last quality that John Maxwell mentions as far as being, an empowerer is commitment. Commitment. He says that's the last quality a leader needs to empower, to become an empowerer. Commitment. When you empower people, you're not influencing just them. You're influencing all the people they influence. That's impact. That's impact. And so again, consider these qualities and think about whether you have these qualities for yourself. You have commitment, respect, relationship, and position. These are qualities of an empowerer. And that's how you can extend your influence, by becoming an empowerer. All right. And so hopefully you've enjoyed the appetizer on tonight. If you've enjoyed it, go ahead and comment below. Right. Let us know. Go ahead and shout "Aou" for all of my fellow wealth builder family members out there. Shout "Aou." All right. And so many of you know the main meal. I'm about to actually show you guys the main meal so you can see what's on my screen really quick. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Go ahead and keep on shouting "Aou." I see you guys out there. All right. So you all know that the main meal is being actually coming from T. Harv Eker's book, right? Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. And every time I go through these principles, I get fired up. So I gotta try to contain myself just a little bit, right? So I don't go overboard. And hello to those of you out there. Let me see who's out there. Got Miss Patricia Goodman, Cece Mahone was tuning in, Sherry Pierce, Kiara Lane, of course, Alan Main, Tamara Carroll, right? All of you guys out there, just super duper amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, here's the 9th point that we're going to go over tonight. It says, rich people are bigger than their problems. Again, rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems. And that's why, when somebody keeps, complaining, do you know that they're maximizing the problem? When they complain, it's almost like a balloon. You know how a balloon just go, every time, of course, a balloon gets bigger, you're blowing into it. That's like a person who complains. When they release it, they're blowing out and they're causing the problem to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it consumes them and you can't see them anymore. Why? Because, again, that's their mindset. So if you want to be successful with anything in life, it's going not only to be hard, but also you're going to face some obstacles along the way. You are. But this is one of the main differences between the rich and the poor. The poor don't want to deal with the hassles and the responsibilities. They don't want problems. You see, if they see a challenge, they run. Okay, they run. Now, the irony is that, in their quest to avoid problems, they have the biggest problem of all. They're broke and they're miserable. Now, the secret to success is not trying to avoid or get rid of your problems. The secret is to grow yourself so that you are bigger than any problem. Woo! You better get that. Get that. Again, the secret to success is not trying to avoid or get rid of your problems. The secret is to truly grow yourself so that you become bigger than your problems. If it doesn't matter, if you're rich or you're poor, you're going to face problems. You're going to face problems. The size of the problem is never the issue. What matters is the size of you. The size of you. You see, the bigger the problem you can handle, the bigger the business you can handle. The bigger the responsibility you can handle, guess what? The more partners, customers you can handle. The more money or cash flow you can handle, the more wealth you can potentially handle. Question, why do you think so many lottery winners go bankrupt? Why? They can't handle the problems associated with having that large amount of money. They can't handle it. But if you grow you, which is, it's the reason why we got that appetizer. If you grow you and enhance your ability to lead, you will be bigger than your problems. And your problems won't weigh you down. And you'll be able to conquer, to overcome those issues as they arise. So again, this point says, rich people are bigger than their problems. So you have to ask yourself, how are you working on yourself so that you can become bigger than issues that you may be facing right now or that you may come across? Because the more money, the more cash, the more problems. And your problems are going to be looking totally different than what they may look like right now. So again, work on becoming a bigger version of you. That's why I say, listen, don't try to compete with everyone else. Your biggest competition is the you from yesterday. So the more you become a better version of you from yesterday, right, you'll be able to handle the problems of today. Doesn't that make a whole lot more sense? You'll be able to handle the problems of today if you focus on being a better version of yourself today than you was yesterday. Now, hopefully I'm not confusing you, okay? So work on being a better version of you. You enhance yourself, grow yourself. If you see yourself struggling in certain areas, whether it's your mindset, your speech, whatever it may be, focus on enhancing that. You know, as I share this information with you on a day-by-day basis, it's helping me to grow because I'm processing it. As I'm hearing myself talk about it, I'm processing it. It's taking deeper root, deeper seed into my mind, into my heart, as I'm speaking it out and communicating it with you or to you. So again, did you enjoy tonight's nugget? I'm going to pause because you know what we didn't do. Based on where we are, I want to truly understand something. For those of you who truly feel this way, do you believe, do you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are a billionaire? Go ahead and affirm it in the chat. I am a billionaire. Nope, I just want you to be clear of mind. I am a billionaire. You can verbalize it, but I want you to type it in as well because I can't hear you. Go ahead and affirm it, type it in. I am a billionaire, or I have a billionaire mind. A billionaire mind. We place no limitations on you. You have the ability to do so many amazing things, to accomplish all of your goals that you have set out for yourself and that had been given to you by the Almighty, by God. You have the ability. He gives us the power to get wealth. For those of you who are looking to become extremely wealthy, he gives us that ability. And so you have it. All right, you have it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, if you've enjoyed the stream tonight, hit that love button. Send those hearts out here. Come on. Send those hearts. Send those hearts. All right. Even if you're watching the replay, send those hearts out there. Also, look, I want to prepare you because we have some amazing things going on tonight. One thing primarily that I want to remind you all of, and that is, of course, an amazing presentation taking place. For those of you who desire to know, or if you desire to know what it is that majority of us do that's plugged into the stream, well, what we do is we save. We get paid to save cash. We actually get paid to save real money. Now, we exchange the fiat currency. We exchange that, okay? And we obtain a tier 1 asset because we know assets adds to your wealth. This is an asset. This is gold. Hopefully you can see it. I know it's a little bright on my end. It may not be bright for you. That might be a little better. There's the gold in the middle of that, okay? And all we're simply doing is acquiring this as much as we can. And this right here, all you got to do is exchange 8 USD, about 8 USD, for this 1/10 of a gram. And that's what we do. We get paid to save. So how many of you are saving? And what are you saving in? Because if you're saving this, If you got this sitting in the bank, you're going to lose it eventually. This is only worth about 3 cents, 3 to 4 cents. If you want to get on the winning side, you can't save this. You want to save real money, God's money, gold. All right? So exchange some of these to acquire some of these, and put it back on camera. Acquire some of these, okay? That's what you want to get. And so the simple way to get this is by getting back in contact with the person who shared this stream with you tonight. We can help you get started. Get your free gold accumulation account because it's free. There's no required monthly fees. All right? Totally legit, okay? This is not a networking opportunity, not an MLM. It's e-commerce. You get paid to save your own money. That's it. Okay? Now, if you want to make some income, that's optional. You can do that. Okay? We can let you know how we do it. And we're doing this every day. And so, listen, we have a presentation that happens, right, every day, except, of course, Sundays is not, we don't necessarily have the presentation per se happening at 12 and 9, but there's something going on every day. So, for example, tonight, right, tonight is Tuesday. So we have, of course, the 9 o'clock presentation that's going to be presented by Mr. Bustin' Loose, Mr. Al Murray. He's going to be doing the presentation at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here is how you can get access to this presentation. Now, we are just praying that the Zoom and the Facebook connection is going to work out well. We're going to believe that. And so you'll be able to watch a watch party that someone hosts on their timeline, or they may share the stream as it is streamed onto Facebook. So you can tune into that, or you can join us on the Zoom platform. So what you'll need to do is download the Zoom app, which is free, okay? And then you want to go to goldrocks.info. Goldrocks.info. Go there at 9 o'clock p.m. You're going to need also a password. So please make sure. And I do see some of you inboxing me during the stream. It's okay. I'll be in touch with you, okay? I do see you guys. So listen, you want to inbox the person that shared this with you. We want to help you get started. Listen, we want you to be on the winning side. And on getting this presentation tonight will answer some questions that you might have. Now, if you like, look, I don't need, listen, I'm ready to get started right now. I want to get access to God's money right now. Because if you don't have access to God's money, what do you have access to? Whose is it? Okay. Okay. See, this is what we're talking about. You want to get your hand on something that you know is true, right? And it can't go to a value of 0. Let me leave it alone. We're going to make sure we get you taken care of, all right? And so we'll be back for the Leadership TKO Live Night Show again tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so until then, I encourage each and every one of you to think, to speak, and to live leadership. Good night, everybody. God bless. And I'll catch you on the 9 o'clock presentation, goldrocks.info. God bless everyone.